The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach, dear friends. And yes, I'm the amazing person that wrote the lyrics to Tequila. Tequila. My job was over. I went back to bed. Started cashing those royalty checks for writing those lyrics. Anyway, some people don't believe I wrote the lyrics to Tequila, but I have to say that it wasn't an overwhelming job. What we have today is a market that is in the doldrums once again. We don't have a lot of push up or down, a little bit more to the upside, a little shy of 5 points higher. Somebody is IMing that I wasn't even born yet. And I don't know what that has to do with it. It's a good story. Don't let the facts get in the way, is the way I say it. 1.86 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange tape. And what else can you say about it? No volume, going higher, and it's scary light volume. Of course, we are going into earnings tonight, and this entire week is going to be a big deal for earnings. So I have a feeling that volume, if it is going to come in, will need to come in the next couple of days. We're going to learn a lot more about the long term of this market. Almost all the earnings from last quarter were severely moved down, so the bar is about as low as it can go. You're not going to get any limbo, people, under this bar, is what I'm saying. It's pretty low. It's as low as you can go. So if someone doesn't make their earnings, things are really bad in Mudville. And Casey's going to probably have to come up to bat and all the other stuff in my mixed metaphor here. As we continue on this day, we like to get together about this time every day.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
It does. And, of course, what we like to start off with is a little bit of history because, if we don't know our history, we're doomed to repeat it.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Well, I'll just turn it up then. Someone says my clips are a little low. And, I know why. Is that right? No, that isn't right. I think that's it. I'll have to work on it. What else do we have going on out here? We got a history. Got to go right on. What else we have here? On this day in 1996, Al Dunlop, otherwise known as Chainsaw Al, becomes chairman of the Sunbeam Corporation. One of the earliest things that happened in my trading career was following this. Within about 2 years, this company went like a rocket higher. I think it went, it was up 50%, if I'm not mistaken. He had massive layoffs, factories closings. He did everything in the world. Saved the company $225 million and double revenues by 1999. The stock soars 50% on Dunlap's first day, much less anything else. Less than 2 years after Dunlap steps down amid allegations of massive accounting fraud, he never went to jail. And that was pretty much it. In 1968, though, Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore, they were engineering refugees from Fairchild Semiconductor. They picked their tin up and went down the street, established NM Electronics to miniaturize electronic circuitry into silicon chips. Big part of their initial funds came out of NASA. These two guys were really the driving force of getting enough processing power in the chips to get us to the moon. The firm was based in a small building in Mountain View, California. And because of that, they really were and set the flag for all the companies that would have to come around them to actually build chips and why Silicon Valley is in the place that it's at. They have about $2,700 in revenues for the first year. Not uncommon for somebody just getting started. But you may know this company has a little different name because in 1973 they changed their name. Hang on a second. They changed their name to a company that you might know. It's called Intel.
Now you know the rest of the story.
Yes, you do. You know the rest of the story. So anyway, yeah, I know they're low. We'll have to fix it during the break. We can do that. But now you know the rest of the story. Other news, of course, when news breaks, we are here to fix it, especially me on the Power Trading Hour. One of the things I don't know exactly how to play it. Of course, right after the markets closed on Friday, we found out that Turkey was having a coup. What I did not know at the time, but did figure out on Saturday and talked to a couple of my people that I know that are deep inside foreign affairs. But on Monday, it was kind of interesting to see that the U.S. government was trying to overthrow the government of Israel. We'd sent $250 million to the chief opponent of Netanyahu during the last elections. And it's just, I don't think you can put anything in an email that doesn't leak anymore. So we know that we were trying to overthrow the government of Israel. No big whoop out there. We knew that no one was, at least in this administration, was shy about bugging phone calls from congressmen and or doing anything it took to get through the deal with the Iranians, whatever the price was. In this case, trying to get rid of Netanyahu. But I think that little part at the very beginning of the week started to overshadow what's happened in Turkey. And that is that Turkey's asking for a guy back from Pennsylvania that is known as a quote cleric. And I can only assume what that means. But it looks like he was the chief driving factor in trying to get this coup going on. And they want him back. And just before the start of the show, we found out that there were some prosecutors on our air base, on the NATO air base, mostly run by the United States, right before it. So there may be some more fireworks coming over and around it. One of the weirdest things to think about is, of course, that base houses nuclear weapons. And we now have people that may not have our best interest on an air base with nuclear weapons. And we'll see how that goes on. But they think that we're now trying to overthrow the Turkey's government. I think, you do one thing, they think you've done another one. We'll talk about foreign affairs when we come back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Anyway, look for more to come. I suspect that since we've got our hands caught in the cookie jar at the beginning of the week, that there may be some more fallout. Again, watch this Pennsylvania cleric that we're supposed to give back to them that actually was pushing the coup. And of course, if there's two people that the current administration doesn't get along with, it's the Israelis and the administration there in Turkey. So I can see how maybe they think we were involved a little bit. This may grow into a bigger deal. Keep an eye on it. Arms Holdings in 1990. Advanced Risk Machines, ARM, spins out of Acorn Computers and Apple Computers collaborations and efforts to charter and create a new microprocessor standard. BSLI Technology becomes an investor and the first licensee to this. Risk Machines stand for Reduced Instruction Set Computing. And the idea was kind of that we're going to make these processors do less, but do the things that it does less much faster. And that worked fairly well for very specific issues. In fact, risk is probably the biggest use, or the biggest risk of use is in the NVIDIA style video cards, AMD video cards. They may have, 1,000 different cores in some of the new video cards that are coming out that are $750 or $1,000. They do one thing very well, and that is manipulate a few pieces of data all at the same time. And if you had 1,000 computers, imagine what you could do. Well, these can only do a few things, but they can do those things very fast in a massively parallel way. Almost all the chips now that we see in things like smartphones and tablets are based on this RISC architecture. It basically had a real long time in gestation. It did very well in scientific computing in the 80s and the 90s. Gray was all over it. Sun was all over a few of these. I had a RISC machine that was extremely fast in doing some stuff in the late 90s for hardware and software development. But they never got mainstream adoption. And of course, the smartphone really did that because, of course, it's easy to turn off the cores and save power. And that's what at least the iPhone and many of the tablets are all about, how long you can make that battery last. So it wasn't that they were that powerful or that great at doing very specific things, but they are very good at doing audio manipulation, video manipulation, and playback. So just about everything you want with a portable device. Still not very good for using it in a big multi-purpose computer or all-around computer. But they make them work for a variety of things. But if you've ever wondered why spreadsheets aren't a commonly used thing, even on tablets, RISC machines tend to have a real problem when you get into varied math, not just in what is known as vector math. ARMS Holdings, of course, was bought out for about $32 billion today. And they were bought out by a company called SoftBank. The SoftBank at one time owned the biggest computer convention in America, Comdex. They've been involved in some other stuff. The idea is that they want to control, or SoftBank wants to control the Internet of Things that everybody's heard of. We're kind of still in the first chapter of the whole Internet of Things. There have been a few products out there that have had mild success so far, nothing with huge success, but kind of trying to head everybody off at the pass. Japan wants to get back in the ball game, and I was thinking about playing, I think I'm turning Japanese, or I wanted to find maybe some thing about it costing you an arm and a leg, but I found it neither. But ARMS Holdings now solidly, I guess, going to be a Japanese company. For the most part, 99.9%, like ivory soap, of what's done from ARMS Holdings is out of England, which is very, very different than most things that the Japanese have bought. They've kind of stayed away from English companies, and this is the first foray. I'm wondering, kind of anticipating to see how well the culture clash works with them, since mostly the English tend to want to deal with the Chinese much more than the Japanese, and pretty much going back to the way their troops were treated during the Bataan Death March. But some people have a long memory. What else do we have? Marissa Myers, over the weekend, what we found out is that the board had met, and she is not, quote, calling any of the shots in the Yahoo sale. Today at noon was the last moment for Yahoo to take any additional bids for pieces, parts, or the whole of the company, but she will not be in any. They basically have, what is it, neutered? That wouldn't be right. Spayed? Well, probably not for a human. Probably, I'm looking for a better analogy out here. Clipped her wings? Angel wings, we'll call it that. Clipped her wings for actually being anything in this. The only question now is, when they sell this company, does she hang on for a little while to help through the transition, or do they just kick her to the curb with her $50 million golden parachute? Since she became and actually became the CEO, I said that there's one thing that I tend to instantly get when you get a new CEO, and that is a ton of press. And when the press fawns over somebody, it's almost like the curse of Sports Illustrated, where you put the guy on the cover and the guy that's supposed to be the next hottest baseball, football, basketball player breaks his knee within about 3 weeks of the start of the season, and that's it. You never hear of him after that year. Do they still put Player of the Year, the latest guy on Sports Illustrated? I don't know. Haven't seen it in a long time, but they used to call it the Sports Illustrated curse. Well, Marissa Meyer came on, and she was on all kinds of magazine covers. She was just, 6 months pregnant or 9 months pregnant when she was started the job, had a baby. There were all these magazines talking about you can have it all. And that never really bothered me, other than the fact that they played it up a great deal. She was on many magazine covers, and they made her look pretty. But there's kind of this thing, how can I say it? A musician that has to wear lots of scarves and wild dresses and all kinds of stuff. The guys that really have the chops, they really don't have to go out there with all the affectations. And there were far too many affectations when she came around. Anyway, we'll find out about this, and probably in the next couple of days, they'll announce who's buying them out, whether they're going in pieces and parts. We'll be back after this.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And what else is going on? Oh, anyway, not much going on with Yahoo out here, but look for the announcements. Since they put today as the deadline for any applications, I'm figuring that this week we find out who buys Yahoo. And as one fine gentleman in the den has put it, Yahoo has gone to seed, although he used another word, that brown word. And yeah, I can say that it pretty much is over the last 8 weeks has had a lot of issues for financial data, which is it's been one of the best websites for financial information for forever. But man, are they getting kind of flaky. One page one day in one format. The next day you go back, it's in the old format. The next day it's in yet another format. I'm not exactly sure why it is so flaky, but what else can you say? We're going to get to some charts and take a look at some. Wanted to, I think we looked at everything on Friday on my list. Let's go to what's going on here now. Wanted to see how some of these companies reacted to highs. AIG is maybe one of the best looking Fibonacci confluence patterns I've seen in a while. It's kind of a little noisy over here on the left-hand side of the chart, but whether you used pretty much any of the highs in the $64 range, where this thing was bouncing around back in April and May, sets up a wonderful looking ABC to the downside, but a confluence level that also occurs right at this big gap level that came down on the 23rd of, what is that? Let me get back here. Let's take another stab at this here. There we go. So you can see everything. Let me zoom in on it here. This big gap down that happened on let's call it 15 million shares on the 24th of June. It got down to 48.41 and now has kind of come back up. But you are basically at the 618 retracement on the way back up of the first move. And then, of course, if you put the two moves together, back from June 23rd, 2015, you see that there is a wonderful Fibonacci. The 382 of that one is 54.72. And, of course, you get 54.70 from the first one. And Joe DiNapoli put these together in a rather great but expensive book. And you can look at Tom's version for a great deal less. And, of course, he puts volumes together with it. So I always say that that's the first book that you should look at if you want to follow this show a bit. But that is a great example of confluence. There aren't a lot of them out here. So I'm watching this one very carefully to see how it hits this level. Not a lot of volume in the last 3 days as it's gone into that gap with light volume. Not only do you have the gap, you've got the confluence. I think earnings are coming up on this. So let's take a look at an earnings date. August 2nd. So we're about 2 weeks away. I'd love to see this a little bit farther away from earnings. DABY, another big one out here coming into its retracement level. When we look at this one, this thing has had a double gap around this $42 level, gapped up across that $42 level in mid-October last year, 1.5 million shares, gapped back down through it with 1.4 million shares, so about the same kind of energy. Now we're coming back up, but instead of having anything approaching 1.4 million shares, we're kind of in this 300,000 range, and this gap with the big 1.4 million shares down. So we can expect that this thing is at pretty high resistance levels. Let's check and see what earnings date is on this. Natus Medical Incorporated, baby. July 20th. Okay, so we got 2 days on this one. But again, you know, there's a lot of people that would love to get their cash back above 43 bucks. So even if this does bounce, you've got some limit to the upside. You still have some high volume downside that has not been tested. The low back here for 29.54 with 1.8 million shares is, I think, everything that you're looking for. And that means a test of that April 12th low has a probability of about 80% in the next 6 months after that date of getting tested. Baxter International, now this one, another one out here that had a lot of volume at the highs. If we go back just in the Wayback Machine to May 12th, seems like an eternity ago, $46.95, 34 million shares. As we go across the next few days, though, let's say the last 5 days, 4.5 million shares, 3.5 million shares, 2.5 million shares, 2.9 million shares today, 2.9 already, but kind of pulling back a little. And of course, all going against that 34 million share high back in that May 12th level. So these are the ones that are going to give me the signals on the broader market on whether or not these things can hold higher or not. Let's go back and check quickly to the market already in progress, up 5 points. Volume is vapor for the last, I'm going to call it last 2.5 hours, as we've just ticked over 2 billion shares. So there are a lot of warning signs out here, and some stocks that are moving rather large on little or no real information. People are kind of ready to shoot first and ask questions later. CardioNet, BEAT. Let's check when this one, you know what, I think we got to look at everything as an earnings date out here. August 4th coming up. CardioNet, BEAT, May 31st, $17.68, 720,000 shares, 430,000 shares on July 13th. As it spiked it and it's come back into this trading range. A lot of these look like, you know, they've had some decent gaps up, but need to come back and retest their little friends. This one would be about 1375. Light volume, this one probably would be very interesting as a standard Wyckoff pattern. eBay, when's the last time anybody said that you should buy anything on eBay? It's been forever. You have to use their goofy system for your credit cards. I don't like giving all that stuff out. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just so much easier on Amazon, isn't it? The shipping and not having to deal with people. There are some things I bought on eBay, but it just seems to be so difficult that if I don't have to, it's worth an extra buck or two just to go ahead and buy it on Amazon. Anyway, eBay is up to its resistance level when this thing fell apart. Came down on the 28th of January with 56 million shares. Came into April 27th with 29 million shares. Now, 23 million shares. We'll be back after the short timeout.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we're back. Yeah, I was putting a link in the board. One of my favorite YouTube channels, a guy actually built a 6502 CPU out of literally discrete parts. So it's got, all this little surface mount transistors on it and everything. But of course it was the, the size of your pinky fingernail inside. And he's basically built one all out of individual parts, each individual transistor. But it's one of the neater things I've seen out there. We were talking about eBay out here, very light volume, and I'm not, I'm trying to figure out how PayPal actually fits into the pay system. It's not like they've really gained any ground over the last couple of years. Everybody else seems to have just fumbled the football, so they're still around. I got to turn this around. Okay. But it is kind of interesting to see very light volume back up here. Let's check their earnings date also. But a lot of these stocks are at the do or die point, like eBay and the others were going on out here. They're July 20th also. So we got them coming up. But these things, I can't really say, I mean, these things can kind of go either way on earnings. If this thing had gone up on 5 million shares, I probably would have pulled the trigger. It's light volume, but not light enough for me to make a deal. For foreign markets and the bull market in those foreign markets, the EDC, it's coming up to, on light volume, to its gap down that goes back to the 11th of November of 2015. Just 100,000 shares there on the gap down. The next day, about 100,000. That gap's been there for a while. It's not a high volume gap. Tried to get into it on April 19th with 2.7 million shares at 56.95. We got into it a few days ago on the 14th with 58.20. So we continue to look at some of these out here, and it's just not that big a deal. What else do we have going on out here? Just not a lot happening. So we'll continue moving on. Okay. GPL. Wanted to see how they did. Great Panther Silver Limited. Nice little gap down, 3.2 million shares. So Yeah, what do we have on them today? That was probably the most interesting. GPL going into options expiration. It's off 4 cents today at 132. Any volume in this thing? 2.7 million shares. You're going to be okay. Gap up was on 419 with 3 million shares. Got into it with 2.1 million shares. Hard to say on that. MORE, Monogram Regional Trust. I don't see that much in that one. Let's go to PayC, Paycom Software. Quick look at this guy. What do we have? Let's go back. PAYC. See if we have anything on this one. What do we got? Paycom Software. It's up 58 cents. Nothing in that one. 46.78. Volume of, call it 209,000 shares. So nothing too exciting for me on that either. Let's see what else we have out here. Let's see what earnings are on this date. PAYC. This looks fairly interesting. August 2nd on that one. So we got a few weeks on that one. What else is that? We'll take a quick look at the QLD. And of course, even the Qs out here, you kind of have to wonder about what's going on. 77.96 on the QLD. So, we're up, what, $1.13 over Friday's close. Don't think there is, I don't know if you can say a lot about that. Volume today, real quick, 1.2 million shares. So actually not too bad. 1.8 million on April 19th. And of course, this gap down on 2.2 million shares back on the 4th of January. So as we went through a lot of these stocks on Friday, there are just a ton of these things that are coming right up to those January 4th and 6th dates when we had those two kind of back-to-back gap down things. And that was kind of it. Now on the TQQQ, this one's back up, TQQQ. What do we got there? 110.31 on the last tick. So we're dead into this gap down on this one that occurred on the 4th. On this ETF, 5.5 million shares. Today, what do we have? I don't even see. Oh, there it is, 1.4 million shares. So again, going into a couple of days that had some fairly big volume on lighter volume, but we're either going to bust out or fail rather miserably here. This still has a high volume low on February 8th. That low was more than the August 24th low of 2015. So, well, actually it was 2 million shares more than that August 24th low of 2015. So everything says that you've got that $67, $65 range back here in the TQQQ that's going to come back again, and that is quite a move and a trend over time. So we're probably going to get the answer this week on how these things are doing. TTEK. When we look at that, what do we have today? Up 17 cents, 31.79. Still not over this. It's right at this high. That goes into the April 28th high. You also had a June 23rd high at 31.59. Light volume just a few days, 290,000 shares, still light. Today, what do we have for volume? 103,000 shares. So, man, this is a very dangerous market on a lot of these stocks. Take a very close eye on these. Xilinx, of course, the semis. We'll look at the SMHs when we come back from the break. But Xilinx is a pretty good example out here as we go into earnings. ZLNX, the last pure play in this field. Xilinx, what do we got here? 48.35 on the last tick. Volume's 1.16 million shares, but you had 13 million shares on the 24th of May that spiked to a high, and that's what we're going up against. We'll be back after this short break. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. Call me at 877-927-6648 or post a message in the den.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Of course, we had a bunch of earnings this morning. And, of course, after the bell, we're going to have a little bit of country and a little bit of rock and roll, along with Tom O'Brien in the 4 o'clock hour. But we need to start looking forward to that as earnings season gets off with a bang. IBM after the bell, Netflix, Rambus, Sanmina, VMware, and Yahoo. My guess is that we'll probably have an announcement maybe in the next few days on Yahoo. It may come as early as tonight that they're selling out. And, of course, if Yahoo spikes a little bit, we might see that spill over into the indexes. Not exactly sure how big a part of it is, But any kind of reprieve from the Grim Reaper for Yahoo, it's probably going to give the market a little bit of upswing tomorrow. The others, far too hard to actually say. Netflix was up a little bit in FLX. The hardest part of calling Netflix earnings is that it is a lot like Amazon, and that's why I'm not thinking of putting on any additional bets going into earnings. What they decide to spend in R&D is basically what goes to the bottom line for earnings per share. So if they're feeling a little heat, maybe they'll pull back a little bit. Now they've spent a couple of $1 billion on going into foreign markets. Probably the best of those are Japan and a few others. But again, how much did they spend? And that is the problem. We don't know. They will tell you. That'll give you kind of an idea. But when you look at the options are pushing 12%. So they think that this thing could be anywhere from $110 to $88 tomorrow morning at the open. And that gives you just about everything you need to know. That you got 10% movements placed in these. No one really knows, and some of these other ones maybe look a little bit better, a little more interesting to me out here. But the problem is the biggest ones out here, IBM. My guess probably comes in line, and Sanmina. It's hard to tell. VMware may be the surprise to the upside. I'll be watching that one after the break. And when we get into tomorrow morning, of course, it's Genuine Parts, Goldman Sachs. A lot of people thinking that with all the dollar movement, Goldman Sachs has a huge arm to trade that. And everybody thinks that maybe Goldman Sachs is going to be a big blowout on just the trading, huge trading of the Forex money. But we also have Johnson & Johnson, Kansas City Southern, Lockheed Martin. I don't think any of those are going to be a surprise. When we get to United Health Group also, after the bell tomorrow night, we get into a few stocks that are maybe not as well known, but always the psycho stock, Intuitive Surgical after the bell, Microsoft. Now that one, again, I think it's just going to come in line. That one probably is got a buck up or down in it. I just don't see a lot unless something drastically changes. The thing that could push Microsoft would be their conference call. The last free upgrade for Windows 10 comes July 29th. And if they start saying, hey, we're going to start making a lot more money instead of giving away Windows 10, that may be enough. I just don't know how much money they're saying that they will start making on Windows 10. Very hard to do, but at the moment, a buck up or a buck down. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.